Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Blurb TV. Going to go over the third round before we hit the third day here at the 2010 NFL Draft, right here in Radio City Music Hall. Crowds filling in, and I want to go over a couple of players who landed in some interesting spots. Start off with Damian Williams, USC wide receiver, went to the Tennessee Titans. I think this is a good fit. A guy with great height, not the fastest cat on the planet, but very good hands, great concentration, very reliable, great leaper. All of these things I think make him an excellent fit and an excellent target for Vince Young. Not a lot of wide receiver weapons for Young in the core there, and I think Williams is going to step in and probably contribute really quickly. Now, of course, you know, USC, their wide receivers, with the exception of Steve Smith lately, haven't exactly come out and shine, and isn't the fastest guy, like I said, not incredibly explosive, has some durability issues, and we're not really sure if he's plateaued at this point. Does he have any upside? But I think with his hands, his reliability, and his leaping ability, I mean, this is a guy, when I researched Mark Sanchez over a year ago, I really felt like his ability to adjust to the ball made a big difference in terms of how people perceive Sanchez being an accurate passer when he was a little shakier than I think a lot of people thought that they saw on film. I love Williams at this spot. I think the Titans are going to be very happy with him. And I, as a Trojan fan, am glad to see him go. I think he landed in a good situation for him. Vince Young or no Vince Young, whether Vince Young is the future or not, I think this is a guy who is going to be the future at the wide receiver position for Tennessee. Next, I want to talk about Brandon LaFell. Came to Carolina. They got Jimmy Clausen. They're giving him another weapon. Steve Smith has long needed someone opposite him, and no matter who they put in there, it never works out. Clausen already has a fantastic run game behind him with Williams and Stewart. Got Steve Smith, and now we have a guy who's big, smooth, aggressive, tough, competitive, not afraid to go across the field, great hands, good blocker to contribute in that run game, durable, productive, a lot of experience. Love this guy. I think he's a great fit. He could finally be the answer opposite Steve Smith. Will he replace Smith one day? Probably not, and they're going to need to start thinking about that a little bit, but could have fit right in. They may have finally found the answer opposite Smith, and that can make a huge difference for Clausen, as he will start probably pretty quickly, and it'd be nice if he didn't just have to rely on that run game. And if he had a weapon opposite Steve Smith, and it does look like he had, in case you hadn't noticed, I think he has a weapon opposite Steve Smith right now. Moving on to Colt McCoy. Went to the Cleveland Browns. Finally, the Browns or the Bills took a quarterback. I'm not really sure what these two franchises are doing right now. Both of them are desperately in need of quarterback help. I know Jake Delhomme's there, but Carolina fans, we just talked about you guys, you know he's not the answer long term. I mean, he's not behind a good offensive line. Colt McCoy going there. Delhomme will probably at least start, I think, this year, in which case McCoy has a year for them to fix that offensive line, get some weapon other than Josh Cribbs, and do something about that defense so he's not throwing from behind all the time. McCoy needs time to mature. He needs time to adjust his game and his mechanics, and I think this is a decent spot for him to do it if Mangini doesn't rush him. Mangini on his own short leash right now, as I think if he doesn't turn this around sometime soon, he may be out, much like he was after Brett Favre in New York. And finally, I want to talk about the San Francisco 49ers. Navarro Bowman, outside linebacker, Penn State. San Francisco is crushing this draft. Two great offensive linemen in the first round. Taylor Mays, who if anybody is going to get something out of him, Mike Singletary, especially since Mays blasted Pete Carroll, who didn't take him for the Seahawks yesterday. He's got a chip on his shoulder for at least 2 games, and Singletary, you know he's not afraid of character concerns, be it Mays, be it Vernon Davis, or be it Bowman. Bowman had some trouble off the field, which is probably one of the reasons he slipped, a little character concern. Has some problems shedding blocks, can be a little too aggressive, but the fact that he is aggressive will fit in well with this defense. They need some aggressive people. They need someone who's going to get in there and play nasty, and Bowman can be that guy. He's got a very, very tough demeanor, a high degree of competitiveness, very tough, very violent, good in coverage, decent ball and hand skills, and good instincts and awareness. He needs to do a little better, pass rushing, but for the most part, he can move through trash well, and again, very aggressive guy, and I think he's going to fit incredibly well in this defense. San Francisco, like I said, just crushing this draft in my mind. I don't like the grade drafts because it takes 2 to 3 years to know whether a draft has been good or not, but so far, San Francisco looks like a winner. He's going to do it right now. We're getting ready to get started with the fourth round, of the 2010 NFL Draft, third day. I'm going to be back with more stuff on Blurb TV today. I'm being joined by Cecil Lamy of FootballGuys.com and 104.3 The Fan Sports Radio in Denver. We're going to do some more of this. We're going to do some more audio. We're going to do a lot of stuff today. We're going to keep you covered all throughout the day here at Radio City Music Hall. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you a little bit later. Check out thunderingblurb.com for more of this and some articles, and follow me at Thundering Blurb on Twitter. Thank you.